Hello, everybody. Welcome to How to Make Money with Email. This is a mastermind that is being brought to us by our friends at Raptive. Thanks, Raptive. Appreciate you. I'm glad that they were able to do this because right now, email is hot. Okay. Believe me or not, email is hot as it's ever been. I'm as busy as I've ever been. I'm going to explain what I do here in just a moment. But there's a lot of, I don't know, freak out might be a good word in the digital landscape, maybe a little bit. Anybody heard about this AI thing that's happening, or that Google is taking away their the cookies, and that's going to impact how we make money as content creators? Gosh, you blink and stuff changes in the digital landscape. But right now, more than ever, owning an audience seems important, and making money with an email list is an added benefit. I'm going to talk today a little bit about some stuff that I have not shared with any mastermind group before. I'm going to tell you a few thoughts about why I think now is a really important time to grow your list, because list growth and making money with email obviously go hand in hand. Okay, so before I don't even have slides on this. I'm just going to share with you my thoughts to kick off where things stand. First, I should introduce myself. All right, so let's do that. I'll share my screen here. This is me, my overly photoshopped face. I live in Arizona. I used to live with these people. I live with currently only with the one that is holding my hand. The others have flown the nest, as it were, and are they're off and doing their own things now, and that's awesome. It's great for them, and it's great for us too. I have been involved with email my entire career. Before I started doing this consulting and coaching and courses that I've been doing for the last 5 years, I ran an e-commerce company, and email marketing was a big part of what we did. We were a small Groupon clone back in the day when everybody had a Groupon clone, and we had no budget to speak of. So this absolutely bootstrapped company relied on email to make money. And so we did a minimum. The low watermark was $10 million in annual sales that I could attribute directly to email. And in some years, it was much, much more than that. And email became a very important part of what we're doing. So I learned a lot hands-on of list growth, what to send, deliverability, all that stuff. Additionally, my wife and I, we're also creators on the side, and we have a little Disney website that we created in September of 2016. And using the techniques that I'm going to share with you in this call today, we grew our list to 40,000 subscribers over a course of 2 years. Now, for some of you, that's small potatoes. You can do that in a blink of the eye. But for many of us, and you know what that's like, starting a website from scratch. That is a feat to get that. So over the last 5 years, what I've been doing is working with some of the greatest content creators out there, the people that are just fantastic, inspiring, that recipe, travel, finance, crafts, you name it. And I've been working with them to help them to grow their lists, know what to send that will get opened and clicked, and ultimately how to make money with email. So the same stuff that we're going to be talking about today. So as we get going through this sessions, a couple of housekeeping things. You know how Zoom calls work. Mute yourself when you're not talking, so that something embarrassing doesn't happen. But I do want you to ask questions. We've got this chat feature. Go ahead and ask it. And if you are with me to really make an impact in the overall performance of your list, whether that's how big it's growing, how efficient and effective you are with your communications, and what you do to make money with the list, well, you're going to want to do the homework. I've done this mastermind a few times in my sleep, and if you'll follow along with me and do the homework, you are going to have a magical transformation of your email list. All right. So, and I will be recording each one of these calls. I have a freebie for you if you don't already have it. This is from our friends at Raptive. They're paying for this $500 course called Email on Autopilot. It is a $500 course. I do get real sales on that, and Raptive says you should have it. So go get it. I have a coupon code here with your name on. That is not your name, actually, but it has this coupon code. Somebody go test this. Make sure this coupon code was set up right. Go get it right now. Now, why would you want this? Well, this is many of the same strategies that we're going to talk about here in this 5-day mastermind, but it goes more in depth. It has a lot more to it because we can't cover everything here, folks. Regarding list growth, automations, what to send, how to send it, all that stuff. So go get it. Half of it is strategy. The other half is, the technical part, how to set it up. So if this will be a resource to you going forward, and I keep it updated, and have done so for years. If you've not joined us yet, please do so. The party is over at Facebook at this particular web address, and so go grab that, and I look forward to sharing stuff in fact, I should just drop this into the chat. Let me go back. I should have done that. For those of you who just want to, don't want to type things, my apologies. That was rude of me. You just want to be able to copy paste. Let me do this. Put this in here, copy paste, go get it. Do it now, go, go, go. I'll still be here blathering on. Okay. Now, did anybody do that? Does it work? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. Okay. Kelsey did. Thank you, Jared. All right. Excellent. All right. So here's the deal. Before I get to my next slides, the next slides start with the money's in the list. Perhaps you've heard this before. A little bit of cliche kind of stuff. And then I talk about why you need to build your list. And today I want to add to this. Today stuff is changing. So in the digital landscape, the first thing is ownership of your list. This is the obvious one. And I don't mean to gloss over this because it's a hugely important point. So let me make the point. That is that in digital marketing, we don't own very much of our traffic. We don't control that. Stuff changes all the time. Even if you're paying for traffic, that stuff changes dramatically. So what do you own? Well, you can own an email list, which means that you have the ability to communicate with your audience as much or as little as you want. And if they are on the other end of that, well, I'm just going to go through a few of these. You can build engagement. This is a relationship that you're building with them. And in fact, it's a fairly intimate relationship if you do it right, because you have access to their inbox. Any old time you want, you can send them something. Now, of course, if you abuse that, they're going to lock that door. But if you do it right, you have the opportunity to say, hi, it's me. I've got great stuff for you again. All right. And they'll say, oh, I love getting great stuff from you. That's what email can do. That's fantastic. Now, allow me to be a jerk for just a second. Thank you, Regina. I appreciate that. Let me be a jerk for just a second. Let's say that you rank #1 for something. Congratulations. Does that mean that you actually have a brand on the internet? You may be a search query. What does that mean? Well, that means that somebody may consume your content and then they're off and on their way, right? Do you really have a brand? The reality is that anybody with a laptop and an internet connection anywhere in the world can compete with you and I. All right. They can look up SEMrush or Ahrefs or whatever tool they're using to find search engine queries to go after and to compete with you and me. Absolutely. So what I love about email is it's important to build a brand. If right now, today, if there's uncertainty for you and your business about how you're protecting, have you built a moat around your business? Email's a fantastic insurance policy. But not only that, it is a great way to communicate why you're different, why you're special. Why are you different? What makes you different than my website? What makes you different from any other food blogger, craft blogger, YouTuber, podcaster, whatever you do? Can you enumerate that? Can you explain that? Can you serve your audience over and over and over again? Well, when you do, and do it right through email, you can create super fans. Now, these are the slides that I normally talk about. So I hope these all make sense. There's a couple more. There are 2 more things. #1, in the digital landscape, and I cannot speak, I'm not speaking officially for Raptive here. I'm not speaking for any other ad company, but I will tell you that with the disappearance of cookies coming next year, and Google has told us that it is going to happen, despite them kept pushing it off. They're not going to push it off again, is what they've said. We'll see. But let's take them at their word. What does that mean? That means that brands that use cookies to help them create advertising, to do targeted advertising, are going to have a harder time identifying their people. There will be ways around this. I'm certain of that. I'm sure that Raptive is going to help us figure this out. I'm not too concerned about that. However, if there's any chance that the disappearance of cookies will impact how we make money, I want to know a possible solution. And one of the possible solutions that is being bantied about is the collection of first-party data using email. I really should have slides on this by now because it's so important. The concept of first-party data, third party is like a cookie, which means that there's information that brands are getting from all other sources all around the internet. First-party data says, "Hi, this is my email address and this is me. This is what I like." Ad companies like Raptive I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they have the ability to take an email address, learn about you, even get permission from you to serve specialized ads. They can take an email address and they call it hashing. They basically obscure it so they don't know who that person is. They drop it in with a bunch of other email addresses that have similar demographics. Say, what do we know about this email address? We don't know what it is, but what do we know about this visitor to such and such website? Well, we know these types of demographics. Email can do a lot more of that than what cookies couldn't do. So if you're thinking about ways to grow your RPMs in a cookieless world, one way to be starting to future-proof your business right now is to grow a bigger list. Ad companies like Raptive will figure out ways to authenticate those email addresses. That's my belief, not what they've told me. I just want to reiterate that. But I believe that they will figure out ways to authenticate those users to make you more money, because they're going to give more relevance and more information to the brands that will be investing in advertising. Did that make sense? It's the first time I think I've ever said that out loud. If anybody understood that, will you give me let me know, or ask me a question to help clarify that. Second thing, and the last one, then we'll get to it, okay? The second thing that I've not really been talking about in other masterminds is stuff is changing real time right now, July 31st, related to opportunities for ads in newsletters. It's been there before, yes, but there have been companies that have served it, but there are more and more companies getting into it now. I believe that newsletters may be the next blogs. This is Matt Mullen talking. This is not Raptive talking, okay? But think about it. If you have an audience of people who love whatever it is you do, and they listen to whatever it is that you have to say, when advertisers start to figure this out and go, "Oh, Kelsey has access to an incredible audience, and I know exactly who they are. It's hyper-focused and niched. I know exactly who I'm reaching with my ad dollars." That newsletter becomes much more of an opportunity. Now, has that always been there? Sure. The problem has been that brands have not paid attention. There are more companies coming into this space. There are more platforms being built. ConvertKit, SparkLoop, Beehive, Substack. These are just a handful of examples of companies that are investing in bridging that gap between advertisers and newsletter creators. More on that later. But I want to give you as we're talking about why you need to build your list, because that's what the rest of this conversation is going to be about, is list building. So I wanted to give you some reasons why it's bigger, it's more important than ever. And let's go back to this last bit, this own your list one. So I showed you just a moment ago, we have a Disney related website, a lot of Disney cruise content. In March of 2020, all of our Disney cruise searches went pew. Apparently, people didn't want to search, didn't want to be on cruise ships together during a pandemic. I take that back. There was one search term that was killing it, and that was how to cancel my Disney cruise. We were crushing it on that. The problem was that there were no RPMs to be had. There was no money to be made. There was nothing. So what did we do? We pivoted our content, and because we had a big list, we were able to do this fun Disney at home content, which was not our specialty, but we did what we do. Our March AdThrive at the time, March AdThrive revenue was equal to that of February's AdThrive revenue, and we had zero search traffic coming, essentially. Okay, I'm just giving you an example of what's, obviously that's not going to happen again, right? Nothing like that's ever going to happen again. But stuff happens. And having the ability to drive traffic where you want it to go is so important, especially when we talk later this week about stuff you can sell or different ways you can make money. All right, so let's get to it. I have a quick, I need audience participation part of our program here. All right. So what is your big email struggle? You answered this in some of your, and all of you actually answered something like this, what you're struggling with. And some of you said you're having a hard time getting subscribers. Anybody out there? Down in the chat, say me. Yeah, no subscribers. Just let me know. All right. Kelsey is owning up to it. All right. I appreciate that. Everybody else is getting just all the subscribers they could ever want. Okay. Getting a handful a day, we want fistfuls, we want armfuls, we want bushels full, right? Not many. Okay, Carrie, thank you. All right, I knew that more than those of you. More is more. I love it. All right, what about those of you who are sick of paying those prices for your ESP for people who aren't opening your emails? Anybody have those? I know that there was one or two of you that were struggling with that. Okay, Lindsay. All right, I see you. I see you. All right, Carrie. All right. Some of you are struggling to come up with content for your newsletters, and you feel like it has to be exclusive. Others struggle with the time management aspect of emails. It's just one more thing in 800 different things you could be doing, right? That's a pain. Setting up campaigns that convert. Some of you are trying to actually sell something, and it's just not working. So maybe is that any of you struggling with that? I know there's a handful of you that are actively using your lists to make money. All right, no conversions. All right, that's a few less than optimal, Carrie. So we're going to work on that. Or many of you just have a list and have no idea how to make money with it. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we have do we have any sad cats out there? No strategy at all. Yeah. All right. Well, let's fix the sad cats. Now, before I go too far about the technical stuff, the things that I'm going to be talking about in this mastermind will work on most email platforms. All right. So let me just get that out of the way. I'm not going to talk about a ton about email platforms unless you make me stick around and answer questions about it. But I'll just give you up front. I recommend ConvertKit. I'm an affiliate for them. Here's my affiliate link. If you use my link, you get 30 days free instead of the 15 days. But the reason I recommend a platform is because what I have found with my clients is that technology just gets in the way. There's a lot of great email platforms out there. I just chose to specialize on ConvertKit. I love it. I think it's great. But does that mean that there's not other great platforms? Of course not. There are really good ones. It's just the one that I chose. And if you are on the fence, I don't apologize about this anymore. I used to feel a little sheepish about it. If you're on the fence about which platform to use, if you buy into my brand of crazy techniques going forward, you may just want to get on ConvertKit and use the free trial and try the stuff that I list, because in the email and autopilot course, I tell you step by step how to do all the stuff in ConvertKit. So it's half what to do and half how to do it. Okay. So that's just a help if you're getting stuck. I don't want you to be stuck because you can't figure out how to use ActiveCampaign and do their automations. All right. Or whatever platform. So that's why I give you the straight up recommendation. All right. So let's get to it. Today, we're going to talk about the not so secret to growing your list. All right. And I'm going to share that in just a moment. But first, I want you to meet my friend Martha. All right. So Martha and I we were hanging out. We were having a lovely chat. And she had her glass of milk and her unbranded, nondescript laptop in front of her. And we were having a delightful conversation. She said, Matt, I have got a hankering. I'm pretty hungry. And you know what she had a hankering for, of course. She has a glass of milk there. It's pretty obvious what she wanted to ingest at that time. That's right. For those of you who guessed it, it was broccoli tacos. She's like, I can just really love some broccoli tacos right about now. And I'm like, me too. That sounds fantastic. And she said, I don't know how to make broccoli tacos. Neither did I. So what did we do? We went to this thing called Google and we punched in broccoli tacos. And guess what came up? There was this vegan crispy barbecue broccoli tacos from Rabbit and Wolves. And it comes up a couple of times. So that must be a reliable source, we thought. And so we went to that website, great looking website. And in fact, there was a recipe card there. So it was super simple for us to make this recipe. So we did it. It's delicious. And then after we were done, we wiped our mouths with our napkins. And then we said, should we tell all our friends? Should we bookmark this website? No, we didn't even have that conversation. Oh, that's ridiculous. What did we do instead? Martha bounced. Why? Why didn't Martha become a super fan instantly? She loved the broccoli tacos. The reason is pretty simple. Martha got hungry, and I call this transaction mode. In that moment, she wanted a broccoli taco. She did not care about, what was it? Rabbits and wolves. I mean, rabbit and wolves. She doesn't need to remember the logo. She doesn't need to remember the URL. All she needs to remember is that Google is there for her, or maybe ChatGPT is there for her in the future to give her the recipe. All right. So this comes back to transaction mode leads to the not so secret, and that is that your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. This is so common sense. Go ahead and fight me on this if you want, but this just makes sense, doesn't it? In that moment, Martha just wants tacos. She is an opportunity, but that's why these don't work. Sign up for my newsletter. Sign me up for the best recipes weekly. I want to you want useful tips, stories, and giveaways? No, Martha wants broccoli tacos. She doesn't want any of those things. So what do we need to do instead? Well, I did not come up with the concept here of a lead magnet, which I'm sure many of you have, or an email hook, as I've called it. In fact, many of you have one. What have you got? Down in the chat, let me know what lead magnet you're using today to drive newsletter growth. In the meantime, I'm going to share with you while I need to see movement. Let's go. Start typing. I'm going to tell you what makes a good email hook in my mind. First of all, it should grab your target reader and solve a problem. Probably the most important thing is to solve a problem for that person. It should arrive in the inbox instantly, and hopefully it should showcase you as a subject matter expert. Now, there's lots of different email hooks out there, and I know that some of you have been in a previous mastermind, and this is a repeat for you. The problem with, well, and here's some of those email hooks, and I use all these. I am not bagging on these, okay? Printables, downloadables, checklists, ebooks, bonus courses, all that stuff can work. Here's the problem with most of them, or the challenge anyway, is that they take time and or money and or energy and skill to make. Have you ever tried to make an ebook on your own? Or they just aren't that effective at attracting readers that will become your super fans. For any of you who have put out a printable or a free ebook only to have that person grab it and go and never click on anything ever again, you know what I'm talking about. So here's what I do instead. Use your existing content and create what I call a quick start guide. All right. Now, for those of you who already know my spiel about the quick start guide, do not tune me out. I want you to be inspired to find the new spark. Okay. Whatever you've done to this point, it's time to rethink it or do another one. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, buckle up, because here we go. First of all, the Quick Start Guide is a very simple concept. It is a short series of emails. I usually do about 5 that I send to my readers, 1 per day for 5 days in a row, that drives them to the most important stuff that you have to offer on your website, on your Instagram, on your YouTube, or whatever channel you want. Here's an example. So if you visit the Disney Cruise portion of Picture the Magic, you're going to get a pop-up, or you're going to see a form that says something like what to expect on your first Disney cruise. Listen, somebody going to Disney Cruise Tips, what do I know about that person? If they Google Disney Cruise Tips, or they come from Pinterest Disney Cruise Tips, they're probably going on a Disney cruise and it's probably their first. Otherwise, why do they need tips? So do you see how this thing converts, why this thing converts so well? What to expect on your first Disney cruise goes right at the heart of what they're thinking about in that moment. They don't know who Picture the Magic is. They don't know our subject matter expertise or what beautiful, wonderful people we are. They don't care. They're just looking for some Disney cruise tips because they're kind of interested in the moment. That's why this sparks their curiosity, and boom, now they're in. And the glory of this is that you get to use your existing content. All we do is we create a theme for a guide by simply taking this content and kind of this similar themed content and grouping it together, and then send them 1 email per day for 3 to 5 days. Now, each one of these drives them back to your website, back to your channel, wherever you want them to go. But the point is that you're sending them valuable content in an order that makes sense. And that's why this works. Because when people are just getting started with something new, they just want to get going quickly. They don't need to read the whole Rick Steves travel book. There are books out. They could buy the book if they wanted to. They just want a quick hit. So when you're able to simplify the topic for them, make it easy for them to understand, bingo, you're doing them a huge favor. And the glory of this is that you get to use your existing content. But Matt, all this content's already on my website, or it's already on my channel. Why don't they just look for it there? Or couldn't they? Yeah, they could, but they don't. You don't do that, and I don't do that. Nobody searches that way. All right, we get what we want and we bounce. So the beauty of a Quick Start Guide is that you're going to save your reader a ton of time. You're going to make it easy for them to read your very best stuff. And in the process, because you're solving a problem, boom, 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 like that, you're becoming a subject matter expert. You're bringing them back to your blog or your website, your channel of choice, and you're training them to open and click your emails in the future. It's fantastic. Okay. Again, solve your reader's problem, helping them make sense of something new. 1 email per day for 3 to 5 days in a row. Have I lost anybody yet? Is anybody doing this? For those of you who have a Quick Start Guide, Jordan, the recording will be in the Facebook group, so you can check those there. All right. All right, Jared sharing an example here. Capitalism, great. I'll have to go check that one out. Now, as you go through this, some of you may be wondering, how do I select my topic? If you don't have one, or you believe it's time to make something new. Let's say that your Quick Start Guide isn't performing as well as you'd like. Well, it comes back to this. Ask yourself about your existing traffic. Okay. What problem can I solve? So here we go. A little guide to help you. What's your biggest channel? What are your highest trafficked posts or pages or categories? Why did that user come there? Think about their motivation. All right. The person who wants broccoli tacos. Why would Martha want broccoli tacos? Why doesn't she just say tacos? What's her motivation? Probably has something to do with sensible, mindful eating. Maybe she's a vegetarian. I don't know exactly, but I know that she could have just Googled tacos, and instead she Googled broccoli tacos. What's her motivation? Somebody who lands on Disney Cruise Tips. What's that person's motivation? And what's at the core of their particular problem? In the Disney Cruise example, if you've never been on a cruise, this is an expensive vacation. It's very different than any other vacation you ever go on. For those of you who cruised, you know. And Disney is differenter than other cruise lines. They do things very different. So that person is going, what did I just spend $5,000 to $10,000 on? How do I make magic out of this? And then what can you offer to help them solve it? Well, because I've been on Disney cruises, I can tell them what happens and how to make the most of it. Bingo. Because Rabbit and Wolf knows about healthy eating, they can share other healthy recipes. All right, let's see some real life examples. This is from Baking a Moment. She has 5 secrets for baking impossibly soft cookies. Doesn't that sound yummy? It is. Her cookies are delicious. Now, Jansen from Everyday Reading, she's a former librarian. She has an MBA in librarian sciences, actually. And she loves helping parents get their kids excited about reading. So she's got Raising Readers as her quick start guide. And it's been working for years for her. Now, this one's a little on the nose, isn't it? From Paleo Running Mama, 5 secrets to paleo success. If somebody's Googling a paleo recipe, helping them understand how to stay on the paleo diet and be successful is a tremendous help. I'm just going to go through these kind of fast, but you can kind of see. Jessica Bruno, 5 secrets to transform your home on any budget. She's got a lot of DIY project stuff, so it's kind of all over the place. So she caters to the weekend warrior that wants to save some money. This one did great during the pandemic. Killer copycat recipes. All right. So this one was really, really effective at a time when people couldn't leave their house. Namin Shen from Just One Cookbook. They have Japanese recipes. So 5 secrets to authentic Japanese cooking. That just works. Boy, you kind of get this. I'm going to go faster. 5 secrets to healthy snacking from Eating Bird Food. This one is from the Happy Chicken Coop, Raising Healthy Chickens. And we've got the Copycat Recipe Secrets for 2023 from Copycat. Here we've got 5 summer baking secrets. Very simple, right? This one's 5 tips to get you started with gardening from Savvy Gardener, and on and on and on. Okay. Ultimate Spring Recipe Guide, Dinners Made Easy, Desserts Made Easy. What is this one? 5 days of easy air frying recipes. I wonder if they tried 5 days of super hard air fry recipes, if that would work as well. I don't know. Let's see. Kevin, he did 5 secrets to Mexican food at home. You get it. On and on and on. Let's just jump down here. 5 secrets to save money at Disney World. Summer recipe countdown. Help your kids love veggies. Now, you'll notice that I keep referring to many of my clients use 5 secrets to blank. You don't have to do that. Some people may think, oh, that's kind of cliche. 5 secrets. These aren't CIA level secrets here. We're not revealing what happened at Roswell. Okay. It's a marketing term, but you can use it as a proxy. Think of the problem that you can solve and say 5 secrets to blank. What have you got? Whatever if you have gluten-free baking, 5 secrets to gluten-free baking kind of gets you thinking about a hook that might be interesting to somebody that's landing on a gluten-free baking recipe, right? 5 secrets to starting a garden. On and on and on. All right. It just works over and over again. Okay. I want to tell you about this one. This is Ralphie from Ralphie Jacobs from Simply on Purpose. She's a parenting expert, and she has a very fresh and unique voice as it relates to parenting. Anyway, when I met her a few years back, she did not have a website at all, and she did not have an email list, only Instagram, 120,000 followers at the time. She has, I think, 500,000 followers now. And we created an email series called Staying Safe. Why we yell, why it doesn't work, and what to do instead. And she promoted it, and she put it on her Instagram stories, and she did hashtag No Yell Week. And for a full week, she shared this along with other content. And we spent, I don't know, 3 minutes, 3.5 tops on this landing page. You can see how simple and stupid basic this is right here. So simple. There's nothing fancy about this. She went from 0 to 20,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. Now, let's be fair. Ralphie didn't have a list. She already had a latent group of, interested people. So if she just said, I have a new email list, she would have had a bunch of people jump on. But what she was able to do with this is make the No Yell Week a thing. And this was an asset that you got along with the thing. And that's why it just took off. It solved a specific problem. If you've ever yelled at your kids, Shame on you. You're a bad person. No, I'm kidding. If you've ever yelled at your kids, you know that that does not feel good. I did it once, I think. Probably not. Anyway, this is more for everybody else. If you've ever yelled at your kids, you know that that is not a great thing and it doesn't feel good. So when she gives you an alternative or the promise of an alternative, off we go. All right. Now, it's not only that it was great at getting subscribers. Check this out. If you know anything about email marketing metrics, this is the type of engagement she got. This is really good engagement, folks, in case you need to know. Here's an example of one of the emails. I don't know why I picked this one. Why yelling doesn't work. 3 long-term effects of yelling, blah, blah, blah. At the end, she says, for a video on the negative effects of yelling, click the picture. Okay. Do you think she spent a lot of time on picking that picture? No. My point here with sharing that is that we are overthinking the design part of it, most of you, FYI. Anyway, so then you click on that video. Where does it take you? Guess where it takes you? Right back to a highlighted story on Instagram. So follow me on this. She goes on stories on Instagram, says, sign up for my email, and then she just brings them right back to Instagram where they came from. And they love it. It was always there. That video had been there. They could have found it, but they don't. That's the glory of the Quick Start Guide. Are you with me now? Is anybody ready to make a quick start guide? Okay, what do these emails look like? This is Ralphie's example. Ralphie's is a little bit wordier than I do them usually. Let's say that you are let's just pretend, and my apologies to any vegan bloggers out there. I am not a vegan blogger. I'm not a food blogger at all. So I just made something up. Let's say that I've got, eating vegan, a beginner's guide. All right. And let's say that I've got a post, 50 tasty vegan lunches. As part of day 1 of my beginner's guide, I might say something like this. Well, let me break down this email for you. Most of my emails follow this pattern, everybody. So if you want to write emails faster, quicker, simpler, that will actually get read, follow along here. Okay. First of all, state the problem. Let your reader know they got a problem. You got a problem, Buster. You let them know. In this case, tasty lunches for vegans can be hard. It requires forethought and planning. And what can you make that's fast, inexpensive, and something you can take to work or school or whatever? It's okay to add in some personal experience here, but keep it short, people. Let me give you a mantra. This is a Matt Mullenism. This does not mean this is gospel truth, but I have seen over time, people don't read emails. They skim. Hear me on that one more time. People don't read, they skim. Okay? So what does that mean? We want our emails to be short, sweet, to the point. So when you're adding a personal experience, just get to it. Like even this right here might even be too long. This is something I came up with years ago and I haven't changed it. I really should change it. But when I decided to live a true vegan lifestyle, I found that breakfast and dinner were easy, but because that's when I'm at home and I have all my choices in front of me. But lunch, that was a different story. Just get to the point and explain that you have the solution. So we're stating the problem, and then we're letting them know that we have the solution to the problem. Like this, I've made a comprehensive list of tasty, quick, and easy to prepare lunches that I know you'll love. And then you give them the solution by linking to the article or articles that you want them to click. We don't need everything to be a clickable link in an email. We want to focus what we want them to do. Read 50 tasty vegan lunches now. Now, obviously, I did this in a Google Doc. If I was doing this in an email, an actual email, I would have a button here. People are trained to know what buttons do. So use buttons. If you don't have buttons, I don't know what platform that is that doesn't have buttons these days, but if you don't, use a big old piece of text like that. Okay, big old link. And then if you want, go ahead and finish with a sentence that teases the next email. Something like, see you tomorrow when I'll share with you 25 delicious vegan recipes that are designed for weight loss. Okay, do you feel like you can write emails like that? Short, sweet, to the point. I believe in you. I know that you can. People don't read, they skim. Oh, subject lines. Here's another thing to kind of jot down. If this helped, I hope will help one of you. Take this and stick it as a sticky note right here. All right. Curiosity plus self-interest is my favorite subject line formula. I didn't come up with it. I learned it at a conference years ago. I wish I could give credit to the person who taught it to me because I don't remember who it was, but I've used it for years. Curiosity plus self-interest. For example, let's say that you have pineapple coleslaw as a recipe. If you put pineapple coleslaw in the subject line, when was the last time any of you had any interest in pineapple coleslaw? Especially if you're reading an email at 6 in the morning. None. So what if you did this instead? The appetizer that everyone raves about. Now, is that true about pineapple coleslaw? That could be argued. But the point is, I got your attention. And if you can use social proof, you can use curiosity, you can use self-interest, make that happen. Let me give you another example, real life here. All right. So here's Sally's baking addiction from years ago. How to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookie. Hi, Matt. It's day 3 of Sally's Secrets Baking Made Easy. By the way, do this. I love this. It's day 1 of. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of. Well, the reason I like that, I like literally italic and bolded just like this. Give it a title, make it a thing. It lets them know that they're part of this sequence, this series. It lets them know where they are in the series, and it lets them know that, yes, it will end at some point. It reminds them of what they signed up for as well. Here's the problem with most chocolate chip cookie recipes on the internet. They overspread. See, she goes right to the problem. Then she's got a subheader. Oh, remember my skimmability rule? You know what helps with skimmability? Subheaders. Use the subheaders. Today, I'm sharing the most popular cookie recipe on my site. Seriously, over 700 reviews. Another tip, use social proof. All y'all have it. You're not using it. Reviews, 5 stars, most pinned, been viewed 8 billion times. My grandma's favorite. Whatever the social proof is, use it both in your subject lines and the body of your text, because they don't know you and they don't care about you. They care about the 700 reviews. Let's drop on down. Then she says 5 secrets to chocolate chip cookie perfection. You don't have to go to all this length if you don't want to, but she just says you'll only need 5 secrets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She gives them the what, but not the how. She's prepared them to go make the best chocolate chip cookies of their life. Does this stuff work? Yes. I've seen it work time and time again. And these next slides just are just, you know, patting myself on the back, I guess. So I'm going to skip them because we don't have a lot of time. But people are using these secrets. Big secret. Woo! Not so secret, right? Your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. We got that. Now go make a quick start guide. All right. So what I want to do is I want to help anybody who is stuck. I do not allow anybody to be frozen, because your homework assignment, even for those of you who have done this before, who have taken the Matt Mullen course or mastermind elsewhere or previously, and you have a quick start guide, it's time to do it again. It's time to refresh it. It's time to find something new. A couple questions you might be asking. Matt, I talk about sewing and crafting and macrame and recipes. My answer is I have no idea what macrame is, so I can't help you there, but it's a cool word. I'd like to learn more about macrame. I bet the people who, if you get a lot of traffic to your macrame post, then create something like that. Just pick one, is what I'm saying. Ultimately, where we're going with this is we're going to create segments. Disney Cruise is a segment of my other Disney interest stuff. But I'll tell you, the Disney cruisers really, really want it. They open it, they click it like crazy. They even fill out Trustpilot reviews for me about my quick start guide. I'm not kidding. I'll show you that later. But that's because I went into that segment. Your problem may be that if your quick start guide is not working or your opt-in is not working, you may not be addressing an actual problem that most of your visitors have. Okay, so just pick one. Pick the one that has the highest traffic. You're in luck, because today I am giving away free, 100% free quick start guide ideas to anybody who wants one. Okay, you tell me you're stuck, you unmute, and I'll call on you, and then you unmute, and then I'll give you a free quick start guide idea. How's that sound? Anybody want one? I just need volunteers. That's all.
Sure, I do. This is Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
Video. Hi. I feel like I have too much. Like
Okay.
there's like too much. Like it's like, is it baking? Like I'm a professional pastry chef and like a restaurant and stuff, and like it, and I have savory. It's like a whole thing. Like I just don't know. I
Yeah.
think I
Okay.
overcomplicate.
What's your website?
Yes. Oh, cheflindsay.com.
Chef Lindsay. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Land, yes, yeah.
.com.
Oh, Chef Lindsay Farr. Sorry.
I guess I looked it up once before. It looked like
Yeah,
I had it there.
I guess so. Probably when I joined your course.
Okay. All right. So out of all this, you are in Raptive for a reason. You're getting traffic to something. What are you getting traffic to?
Um, well, I'm trying to diversify it, but right now it's a lot of peach stuff, so like those peach preserves, those that raspberry sorbet,
Okay.
and then Christmas cookies, but tis not the season.
Okay. But right now you're getting a lot of peach recipes.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's just say, and I'm going to guess that with peach, it's probably more dessert oriented.
yeah,
All right. Would you say that most of your stuff, the grand majority of the recipes that you're getting traffic for are desserts?
yeah, with several exceptions, but yes, for
Okay.
sure.
So generally speaking, yeah. Because right now you have probably, I'm just guessing, you have never miss a recipe or that kind of thing going on for a
Yeah,
opt-in. All right. So sign up for weekly recipes, which we already know that Martha's not really doing. She doesn't really care.
no, she's not.
Okay.
She's
So,
new.
but you know what she loves? She loves dessert. When she Googles peach dessert, she loves dessert in the summertime. So if you said, here are my 5 most popular summer desserts, or 5 days of summer baking, or 5 summer baking projects you can do with your kids, or 5 secrets to superb summer baking. I'm saying the same thing, aren't I? Over and over again.
Yeah,
Do you think that person might be a little bit interested in that?
yes,
And then
I'm sure. I don't know.
I'm guessing that you have 5 days worth of summer recipe roundups.
For sure.
Day one. So let's say it's peach. Let's say
Hmm.
that was the big popular one. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day one of 5 secrets to summer baking. Well, secret number 1 is super easy. It's adopt fresh produce. Fresh fruit is everywhere this time of year, and it's so tasty. Here are my top 5 recipes that use fresh fruit to make a delicious dessert. And then it's peach this, and apple this, and cherry this, and strawberry that, and boom, 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 boom. That's email number 1. Because what does the person want that's coming to your website? They want a recipe. They want inspiration about what to make. That's where I say go to the core of what problem you're solving for them. Now, it
Okay.
started out with like, I got to go to this potluck thing, and I got to, I'm thinking about making a peach cobbler. I got a lot of peaches. What can I do with it? But what we know about the person that's making the peach cobbler, I don't do that. There are peaches around me. I don't cook. If it's not a microwave burrito, I have no idea what to do, and I have no interest. But that person that has peaches sitting there and says, I could make something with this. That's your person. They love to bake, or at least they want to do more of it, or they want to dabble in it, at least in this moment. So that's why I think something like that could work. Now, and we just apply that logic to all over your website. When Christmas comes around, you better not have
We're
this summer
good.
thing going. That's not going to work so well.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I'll bet you could bang that out in 20 minutes.
I think you're right.
Okay. That's your challenge. I want you to bang that out before tomorrow. All right.
Thank you.
If you was that okay. Your
Now that
commitment
I'm
level,
terrified, thank you so much.
your commitment level there, Lindsay, was inspirational. So I get it. But you can do this. And if you will do it, we can review it tomorrow, and I can give you feedback on it if you'd like. Yes.
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
I hope that helps. Does anybody else want one? Carrie wants one. Carrie, go ahead and unmute.
Hi there.
Hey.
So my site is called bramblewinecottage.com. And 8 of my top 10 posts right now are canning.
Okay. All right. What do you what are you doing now for list growth? Is there anything like this?
I have just a real generic one on most pages. On my sourdough pages, I have sourdough troubleshooting tips,
Okay.
or if they're coming to a sourdough recipe, they get my most popular 5 discard recipes. If they're coming to how to make a starter, then they get sourdough baking tips.
Okay. All right, cool. Whoa. I just lost my mouse.
Oh, and look, and I have an ice cream pop-up that I didn't know was going.
Yeah, so you could get ice cream. That sounds good. So if you have canning, if canning is the thing that's taking off, it's probably, you know where I'm going to go with this. You know, what are they looking for specifically with canning?
Well, 7 of them are just canning recipes, and 1 is my water bath canning page.
Okay. So, but what's the core of canning recipes? Like, why do I Google a canning recipe? Because I have stuff to can, right?
Right.
Okay. So the person who has stuff to can probably has, they either went to a farmer's market and bought a bunch of stuff that they want to can, but they like this sort of thing, or they have a garden and they're producing their own cannables, right?
Right.
Okay. So what does that person need to know? They either need to know the basics of canning because they don't do it all the time like you do. They want to be better at canning, or they want to probably, because they were looking for a recipe, they just want more things to make with the stuff that they're canning. Does that seem right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you give them? You have more canning recipes than the ones that they landed on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So same thing we were talking about with Lindsay. You know, what, you know, if it's I don't know if you narrow it down into by actual like fruits, or if you go into a specific thing, or you just do canning in general, but it'd be, you know, 5 days of magical, of quick and easy canning recipes. Maybe they want to can, but they're just overwhelmed with, they got so much here in front of them and they don't have time for it. Maybe the thing is time saving. Maybe it's deliciousness. I don't know, but that's what, if you and I were consulting together, that's what we would be riffing on.
Okay.
So where does that lead you?
Still confused.
Okay. Why? Walk me through the confusion.
Well, okay, so you're going to have to tell me a billion times to stop overcomplicating things, just so you know, right?
Sure.
So people that come to my just basic water bath canning or basic pressure canning, they don't know how to can. They want to learn how to can.
Okay.
People that come to my recipes already have a basic knowledge and are looking for more recipes.
Perfect. This is really to your advantage. So you make a different quick start guide for those different people. Today's pop-up software, like the one that you just showed me, has the ability. This looks like ConvertBox to me. Is that?
The ice cream's a ConvertBox.
Okay, so ConvertBox has the ability to show different things to different people depending on page, post, or category.
Right.
So your beginners, you could show a beginner's guide. For the recipe people, you could show recipes. It's just, how do you have it organized within, like with my case with Disney Cruise, I have that as a category. I have Disney World as a category. I have Disneyland as a category. Those people see different things.
Right. I have on my site, I have things split out into pressure canning and water bath canning.
Okay.
Then
what you may want to do is you may want to categorize your recipes as as canning recipes as well, because then you could show those people something different. So that would take you an hour to go through those, or you pay your
That's already done.
Okay, perfect. So now it's 5 days of delicious canning recipes, of delicious summer delicious things to can this summer. I don't know. 5 things to make with your canned goods. I don't know why it's 5. It's always 5 for me. There's no magic to that. It just is.
So I have a blog post that's like the 5 easiest pressure canning recipes, or 5 easiest water bath canning recipes. I could just turn those into sort of an email.
Yeah, take that exact post and turn those recipes, because, okay, let's do this, Carrie. Give me one day of canning recipes. I don't even know. I don't know canning. So, like, give me an example of a canning recipe.
Well, I canned meatballs this weekend and pork and beans and sloppy Joe sauce.
Okay,
And,
so day one is stuff sauces. Here's 5 days of sauce, or here's a roundup of sauces. That's day one. Day two is meats. Did you know you can can meats? You absolutely can. Here are my 5 favorite meat canned meat recipes. Day three, it's all about summer produce again. Let me share with you my 5 favorite ways to can fresh fruit. Do you have that kind of content?
yes.
So yeah, you absolutely have the makings of a quick start guide.
Okay.
Does that help? Did we clarify?
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't want you to say what my kids do. You know, my kids just go, yes, Dad, yes. And then, you know, like, but I really do want to, I don't want you to be stuck. I want you to go make, because it doesn't even matter. All the other stuff, those other segments, to me, don't matter right now. The point here is to not get this perfect. The point here is to learn the technique, because you can apply it at Christmas time, at Thanksgiving time, on the canning recipes, on the macrame, on the sewing, on the Cricut. It doesn't matter. It's the same concept over and over and over again.
Okay.
All right. I am going to stop there for a moment. Because we're hitting the top of the hour. And for those of you who got to get, I appreciate you being with me for this hour. I hope this was helpful to you. Tomorrow, what I will do is I will go through your quick start guides. If you will tonight, go write a quick start guide. In fact, here's your homework assignment. If you will take me up on it, is select 3 to 5 articles, create a snappy title like I just suggested, put them in a Google Doc, and write those emails the same way that I did. Remember, it's, you know, hi, Matt, welcome to day one of this, state the problem, give a subheader that's, you know, that explains that you have the solution, and then give them the solution. And we've been talking, in this case, with the foodies, we've been talking about roundup styles, 5, you know, recipes, because you're solving one problem, even though different recipes have different, you know, they're different, but they still solve the same problem. Okay, so go write those in Google Doc and then share it with me tomorrow. Okay, I will go over those. I will be gentle, and I will teach you how to write these even more effectively, faster, how to get to the point quicker. It's actually one of the most highly praised, lauded sessions that I do. To me, it's a little bit baffling. It's watching us go through the writing of an email to learn how to do it faster. You're spending, I promise you, you're spending too much time on it. You are, and I'm going to show you that. So go do that. Go grab, if you haven't grabbed your free email and autopilot course. If you need ConvertKit, here's the link on that too, for those of you just looking for platforms. And if you want to stick around, I will help anybody as long as they stay. I'll help you to, we'll go through it here. So I think it was Lauren still wanted one. Anybody else, feel free to stick around. If you got to get, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much. All right, Lauren, go ahead and unmute.
Hello. Yes.
Thanks for being
So,
patient.
oh, no problem. I was driving, so it works perfectly. And I'm now home. So I did your course before, so you've probably seen my Midget Mama site.
Okay.
But since then, I've now got 3 more. And I'm doing this again because I spaced completely on all of the email stuff, and need to make myself do it. But my one site is a kids travel site. And so I kind of sort of stuck on where to start with a quick start guide for those.
A kids travel site?
Yes.
Can you give it to, what's the URL?
It's roamingwithkids.com.
And what's getting traffic right now?
Anything, well, I should say at the current moment, anything that I do a Google story for. Because the
Okay.
site was only started in February.
Okay. All right. So
So I mean, it gets traffic, like it's getting like 5,000 to 10,000 page views a month right now.
Okay.
Um, but like I keep trying to figure, like I can do food without a problem when it comes to like a quick start guide.
Sure.
The kids travel on the other hand, I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Well, you started a website because you were solving a particular problem.
Yes, which
So-
this was on Midget Mama originally. Some of the content was on Midget Mama, but it didn't get any traffic because Google sees Midget Mama as a recipe site. So I moved a bunch of the content that was travel related over there, and then a whole crap ton more of new travel content to make this one.
Okay, but if people, it just depends on what the I see what the theme of the website is, and if let's say you didn't have any traffic at all, you were just starting fresh, and you were trying to cater to your audience, the problem that you'd be solving for people would be, you know, have a wonderful travel experience even with kids, and that might be. It's expensive to do travel with kids, so it might be some budget related stuff. It might be some logistics of how to, you know, to avoid meltdowns. You know, it might be, you know, where to go with kids. All of that stuff would be fair game in a quick start guide, wouldn't it?
Okay. Yes.
So,
Let me put it that way. It makes my brain think.
you're solving the problem. This one is not even about the traffic. This one's about your brand. This might be one that you start with, that is like your evergreen thing that's always there. It's always your guide, in the way that some people do ebooks that are always there, you know, but this is always your guide, and it could live with you for years and years and years. In the meantime, what you might do in the future is a Disneyland guide, and you might do a Dollywood guide, and you might do a whatever guide, right? And then you might have quick start guides related to those because you're getting traffic to those things. But for now, maybe what we do, because it's better than nothing, is 5 secrets to traveling cheaply with kids.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then finally, just putting them all in.
Yeah. So let's just go through it real quick. You know, let's do it right now. So give me 5 topics related to traveling with kids that you have content about.
Let me go and check.
Nope, no checking. You just tell me.
I don't keep track. Like I've got some that are on resort.
Okay. The best
I've got content
best
that's
kid
on-
friendly resorts is there's one email.
I've got quite a lot of like destination posts that are like things to do with kids in whatever city it is that we were at. There's a lot, like there's a majority of the content right now is things to do in blank city.
So that email could
And
be a
then-
bullet point list of, hi Matt, welcome to day 2 of insert title here. So you're traveling with kids. My guess is you're going to one of these places. Check out our bullet point list of our latest guides for destinations where people travel with kids. And then you have Chicago, and you have Cleveland, and you have New York City, and you have Washington, DC, and and it's just a bullet point list. And then you link to those articles. Day 3 is what?
What about like tips for going with them? Like things
I
that
love
make you
it.
not lose your crap as a mom.
I love that. That's perfect. Okay, so we don't even need to finish this. You've got it.
Right. Okay. Because like I taking from the food world is one world.
Yeah.
And that I can do. I mean, I have to just make myself do it.
Yeah.
But the travel world's a bit different.
No, I get it for sure. Yeah. No, and
Like
this is just training our brains a little bit, but it's taking your existing content. It's just you're just putting them into little themes, little chapters, you know, and then all the point of the email is to drive them to the content. We're hooking them with 5 secrets to traveling with kids.
So like, here's a question for you then. So like, if I've got say things to do in Gettysburg, right? And that, if I put a post, oh, I should say I have a post of that. Would I even do like a quick start guide for the specific destination because so most of the destinations have or will have a full blog post on the things in that area and a place for like where to eat and all of that. It's not all up yet, but it's in process. So would I want to put a quick start guide for each location also at some point?
Would your subscribers sign up for that?
I don't know because I don't have any subscribers currently on it because it's brand new.
I mean, not your subscribers. Your so I have traffic coming.
So I don't even know because like like I've got traffic going to things to do in Branson with kids, for example.
Okay.
And then, so like right now, there's some of the locations in Branson have like their blog post done. Then the goal will be to put like, you know, places to eat, like a post on places to eat, places to stay, whatever. But if I did a quick start guide for the location, like if somebody popped up on any of the Branson stuff that had a quick start guide, that would guide them to the rest of the Branson stuff.
I have that
If that
exact
makes sense.
scenario on my Alani content. So I have 4 or 5 articles about Alani. If you land on any one of them, you're signed up. You're signing up for a quick start guide that walks through what there is to do in Alani or whatever.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, I have Alani because we went there in September. I want to go back.
it's awesome.
Just saying.
And then that thing converts very, very well. It's a very small number of people, but conversion rate is very, very high. And then those people are very well served because they open and click those emails as they come back to those through the quick start guide. So yes,
Okay.
exactly
So
what I
then,
do.
then have a plan of quick start guides for each location.
Your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. What does that person want? When they're Googling Branson, they want to know about Branson. They don't want to know about Gettysburg if they're Googling Branson.
Right. See, that's different. Like in the food world, like I can throw like a blueberry dessert in with like a peach dessert and nobody cares.
That's right.
Versus travel is more like, I don't know, it's different.
Yep. It is. I get it. But anyway, I hope that helps. Pick one.
It does. Actually, it does a lot because like I'm trying to take out of food blogger space
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
and travel space. And there's some things that work in food that work for travel.
Yep.
But then there's things that definitely do not work for travel that work for food.
I get you. Well, good luck. Go write that one about.
Thank you.
about the
I'm
kids.
going to go write that now.
All right. We'll see it tomorrow. Crispin, are you
All right.
good? Have you got any questions?
Thank you.
I think the food and the travel, I can see how they work. For the site I've got, the problem is it's a math education website, and
Okay.
the topics are all over the place. So there's some stuff on fractions for older kids. There's some stuff on times tables. There's some stuff on addition. There's even stuff, kind of reverse percentages and stuff. And I'm getting hits all over the place. Obviously, it's a kind of low time of year for traffic at the minute because it's the summer. But I mean, the idea from what you've said so far is something like maybe a times tables challenge for the summer, that you just hit times tables and get a kind of some of your audience interested. But as I said, it's a bit all over the place in terms of the hits. There's nothing I could do for all of my audience that would be relevant to them all.
What's your website?
Mathsalamanders.com. It's a hyphen in between the math and the salamanders.
Salamanders.com. Okay, so these worksheets, are they?
Yeah, there's worksheets, games. There's online activities. There's kind of different things to do.
I keep clicking on the ads. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It means it works, right? First grade.
So at the minute, I've done nothing with email. It's been just developing content because there is so much content to develop, and that's been, I tend to get between 1 and 2 million page views a month, and with the advertising through Raptive, it works pretty well. And I haven't done anything with email yet, but it's a case of whether I do like a first grade newsletter, a second grade one, a third grade. It's obviously things that are relevant to 5th grade won't be relevant at all to first and second graders, parents.
Okay, so if I'm looking at this real quick,
Yeah,
by the way, is it parents or teachers that are coming here?
both parents and teachers. Quite a lot of teachers. Can
you differentiate through the traffic, or do you not know that?
It's mainly through the comments that I get of whether they're using it with their kids or whether they're using it. Sometimes it's grandparents who've got the kids for a while.
Okay, so on this website, your wide printable ranges. Where is this actual printable? Free? No. This right here.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
a poster version of some of my
For you,
pages.
for you, if you want to grow your list, turn this into a printable form. Make them give you an email address before they get this.
Okay.
I mean, everything else I've been talking about, the quick start guide is absolutely great, but you
Yeah.
will get the biggest bang for your buck immediately. And probably what I would do, Crispin, is I would create a quick start guide that happens, or a welcome series that onboards these people right away, because
Okay.
otherwise they're going to grab and go. That's the problem with printables.
Yeah.
But they'll download
Yes,
it.
I
and
do.
If you're
Yeah,
not
I get a high
consistent-
turnaround of people. There's kind of hundreds of new people and not well, there are some returners, and in the searches, I get quite a few searches for my actual site, which is nice.
Okay, but
As
you're
in a
getting, if
keyword.
you do your searches over the last year, 1 or 2 of these printables was tops. Which
Yeah.
one? So I don't need to know the answer to it. Let's say it was this one.
Yeah.
Okay, the large 100 chart poster.
Yeah.
Then what I would be doing is I would try to create number one, I would say, give me your email address and I'll send this to you. That's number one. Depending on your email platform, it's very, very simple to do. ConvertKit has a very simple way to do that if you're not using that, but others have something simple as well. Second, once they've signed up, you don't stop. You drop them into a 3-day series, a 5-day series that gives them more resources based off of their age group or their general interest.
Yeah. Okay.
So the first graders or the elementary school kids in how we do it in America, with the elementary school kids, you give them grades kindergarten through 5. Here's our best resources for learning how to count. Here's our best resources for learning fractions. Here's our best resource. And these are different days, right? Day 1 is fractions. Day 1 is, you'll know what those are, what that logical journey is, but don't just leave it to the printable. Use the printable as the first thing in the series.
Okay.
And just, even if they aren't explicitly saying, I want the whole series, that's okay. You just make it very clear they can unsubscribe at any time. And you just say something along the lines of, as promised, here's your large 100 chart poster. Download it by clicking the button here. To help you further on your math journey or teaching your little ones about math, over the next 3 days, I'm going to share with you my top resources on the entire site, the most downloaded, but I don't know, whatever you say, right? And then you just come up with those next 3 days.
Okay. Yeah. I can give that a go, certainly. I'll have to do a bit of...
You will get thousands and thousands of subscribers by just doing that. And it's going to be a tedious effort because you have so many of them. Maybe you do it once or twice and you record yourself doing it, and then you find somebody on Upwork or whatever and have them do the rest. But I promise you that if you go in order of, go back and look as best that you can by traffic and prioritize by the stuff that gets the biggest traffic, biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Yeah. You're sitting on a gold mine, dude. You really are.
Okay. Thanks very much then. Cheers.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye.